Health is real, seek help, end the stigma. On the news this evening, Rivers police deny firing tear gas, live rounds at Take It Back protesters. Protester urges global sanctions against Nigeria over rights violations. Acquitted detainees allege pressure to implicate former Chief of Staff Ehie in Assembly fire case. Presidency says Mahmoud Yakubu remains INEC chairman. On the foreign scene, Hamas slams U.S. claims it uses ambulances for terrorism. I'm Sam Chinedu, and the news continues after the break. Back. The Rivers State Police Command has denied reports that it opened fire on protesters and used tear gas to disperse them around Bali Park and the Federal Secretariat Complex, Aba Road in Port Harcourt. Spokesperson of the command, Grace Iringekoko, in a statement said the reports are unfounded. SP Iringekoko said when the police received reports about the protest, officers were quickly deployed to the specified locations. She said when the officers arrived, they observed a group of miscreants engaging in criminal acts, including the theft of mobile phones and other valuables from unsuspecting members of the public. She said police operatives responded swiftly, dispersing the individuals. She said the reports that police fired tear gas and shot at protesters is a deliberate fabrication by mischief makers, seeking to incite public anxiety and create unnecessary tension within the state. She urged the public to disregard the reports and remain assured of their safety. Earlier, videos shared by our correspondent showed live tear gas canisters being deployed by security agencies at the scene of the protest. The protesters gathered at the Isaac Borough Park in Port Harcourt to demand the repeal of the Cybercrime Act and the suspension of Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara. The protest is part of a larger nationwide action led by the Take It Back movement. Reports from Abuja, where the same protest was held, said operatives of the Nigeria Police Force also deployed tear gas to disrupt the protests in the Maitama district area of Abuja. The protests also held in Lagos and Oyo states. In the meantime, the coordinator of the Take It Back nationwide protest in Rivers State, Amaya King, says he sustained bullet wounds when security forces were dispersing the protesters. King spoke to correspondent Soibi Ruwari.
We came out peacefully this morning to express our grievances as Rivers people. And while moving, we are like 200 kilometers away from the convergence point when police started shooting live ammunition at us, and I was shot at. I'm on my way to the hospital now to receive treatment.
He's having an internal injury there. There's an internal injury.
We are asking the government, the federal government, to repeal the Cybercrime Act and to reinstate the elected governor of Rivers State. The Rivers people cannot continue to live without a government.
Also, a broadcast journalist in Port Harcourt, Charles Oporum, explained his ordeal in the hands of police while he was carrying out duties during the protest.
I identified myself. I even showed him my ID card. So even if you are a journalist, tell you not to protest, are you not supposed to listen to us? I said, look, I'm not protesting. I'm here to report on what is actually happening. So he kept slapping me and beating me and dragging me. He tried to force me into a bus. I looked at that bus. I said, no, I can't enter this bus because this is not a police van. I said, it's better put me in a police van. Let me know that I'm in the custody of the police. So he dragged me to the second van and pushed me inside. He tried to take my phone, but I resisted. No, I held my phone back. I said, no, I'm not releasing my phone to you. When I got into the van and they closed the van, it turned out that the people in the van were members of the CP monitoring units, and they know me.
Nigeria Info reporter was also injured during the protest today. Meanwhile, one of the protesters, Chetam Wala, has condemned the attack by the combined security forces, saying they will not be deterred by the action of the security forces today.
We must all realize that we're all Nigerians. Nobody is more Nigerian than the other. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not more Nigerian than any of us. He's only privileged to be our president. And he cannot lead us in dictatorship. Every other person can actually be consumed by whatever they are doing, but we refuse to be consumed by it. We condemn what has happened today in Rivers State. And when we say this, that it's a shame on Nigerian government that Nigerian government will be shooting at its citizens for protesting and for demanding for good governance. And it is actually sad that Nigerian government is doing what they are doing at this particular point in time. Right there, they want to silence the voice of reasonability. They want to silence the voice of citizens, but we will say no to it and we will resist it.
Mr. Wala, however, explained what led to the action of the security forces in Port Harcourt.
The same Mr. Oud came and said that made a statement we should leave, that we have granted press, we have done enough procession, that we should go. We said no, that we have not even started what we had envisaged and to proceed, and we need to follow that particular route. He said no, that we must leave now. And we said no, we will not leave, that what we are doing is our civil right, and we have the permission of to even go ahead with what we are doing. The next thing they started doing, they started shooting tear gas canisters on us. Of course, it was a joint team from both the army, the police, the civil defense. They were all there. The next thing, the army started shooting sporadically on the air. Police started shooting tear gas canisters at us.
In the same vein, the director of Amnesty International Nigeria, Isa Sanusi, has described the action of the police against protesters and journalists in Rivers State as unlawful, illegal, and unacceptable. Speaking correspondent to Yinka Chinwosu, Mr. Isa said the people have the right to peacefully protest against what they view as government's anti-people policy.
So what is happening in Port Harcourt is really unfortunate, unacceptable, unlawful and illegal. The violence unleashed on protesters and journalists as well, unfortunately, is unacceptable and unlawful. And we condemn what is going on in Port Harcourt because people have the right to come out peacefully and demand change and express their opinions about how the government is working and how policies are affecting their lives. Therefore, the brutal show of force on protesters in Port Harcourt particularly must be investigated.
The director of Amnesty International Nigeria, Mr. Isa Sanusi, maintained that the duty of the Nigeria police is to protect the peaceful protesters. Still on this, a protester, Solomon Lenu, called on the international community to urgently sanction the Nigerian government for what he described as a violation of citizens' right to protest. Lenu said the protesters are planning their next line of action, as the action of security agencies will not stop them from protesting tomorrow.
And all Nigerians and the people from the international community must join forces to condemn this action and begin to give sanctions to the presidents and the leaders of this country. Because as we speak right now, the president of Nigeria is in France. If there were no liberty in France, will he be able to be comfortable in that France where he is? And the world and Nigerians must all come together to condemn this. They have used their brute force to dispatch us today, but we are still going to continue. Then we'll reconvene again and continue to push this demand that all the right things be done. But we are coming back again and will also communicate to the world.
Mr. Solomon Lenu called on citizens to stand up against what he described as growing humiliation and the suspension of democratic institutions in the state.
There will never be a day when Nigeria will get to that place where we want. Today we are here, we have seen what is happening. A democratic government that was elected by the people had just been suspended, and every other, institutions of government in Rivers State, and then people are still sitting down doing nothing, thinking that everything will be fine, that they'll wake up one day and everything will be fine. I'm here to announce to us that never will that day come. We must fight for this democracy. We must fight for our right, because protesting is a right that is guaranteed in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And it is quite unfortunate that this time and age, we will not be allowed to express that liberty.
Still to come, acquitted detainees allege pressure to implicate former Chief of Staff Ehie in assembly case. Stay tuned.
When in dire need of assistance or help,
Citizens who were previously detained in connection with the fire incident at the Rivers State House of Assembly have raised fresh allegations claiming they were being pressured to alter their original statements to implicate the Chief of Staff to the suspended Governor of Rivers State, Edison Ehie. They are Chime Ezebalike, Kenneth Pasa, Oladele Lukman, and Macpherson Olumini, who were in November last year acquitted of the charges after 6 months in Kuje Correctional Facility. Speaking to journalists today, Ezebalike said they were recently contacted by a prominent PDP leader in Obiabo local government area to revise their narrative. They said the request was linked to a wider political scheme allegedly aimed at corroborating claims made in a press briefing by former head of service George Nweke in Abuja. In another development, normalcy has returned to Woji Market, popularly known as Ahia Woji, in Woji Community, Obiabo local government area, after tensions fled on Friday and Saturday. The unrest followed an incident involving a female food vendor and a male customer who reportedly bought food on credit. Trouble started when the vendor asked for her money, leading to a heated argument. The male customer, said to be a Muslim, accused the woman of making blasphemous comments against Prophet Muhammad and raised an alarm. Eyewitnesses say some irate Muslim youths in the market quickly mobilized and stormed the scene, setting fire to the vendor's table, cooler, umbrella, and other belongings. The trader who spoke with our correspondent said it took the combined efforts of the police and some members of the Muslim community to rescue the woman from the angry mob. The traders added that the youths later attempted to resist police efforts but were repelled by security operatives from various divisions led by their divisional police officer, DPO.
We didn't know how that woman take answer her things. So the claim was the woman blasphemed their religion. They were trying to lynch the woman. So the woman ran, and some of their Muslim brothers tried to defend the woman. They said they must kill the woman.
The guys that they want to kill the woman, they have already destroyed the woman's food. They now came from the other side, said that the barrister should bring out the woman, that they are going to kill her. The Muslims now, they are now divided into two. The people that said they should not kill the woman, they are the one defending the woman. They now lock our shop, they now call Woji police station. Some of the policemen that came, they tried talking to them, they said no. Before you know, everywhere food outside the Woji DPO, they now came, pleading with them that allowed the government to take the case back. They did not agree. They said no, they are not going to, that kind of thing is not going to happen.
Our correspondent also caught up with a member of the Muslim community that insisted that the female food vendor will not return to the market.
The woman into bad thing. So now people saying go kill her. So the leader why they for the market in government don't can carry the woman go. The woman no go stay for Port Harcourt though. I'm telling you true. Anywhere enter for Port Harcourt, the person will not see the thing don't happen. He no go live.
Spokesperson of the River State Police Command, Grace Iringa Koko, is yet to speak on this. Away from that, the presidency has refuted claims of a shake-up in the leadership of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. A tweet today by Special Advisor to the President on Policy Communication, Daniel Bwala, said there is no truth to the rumors that INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu has been removed from office. Also, Senior Special Advisor, to the President on Digital and New Media, Otega Ogra, said any official announcement regarding a change in INEC's leadership would be made through proper government channels. In other news, the Chairman Board of Trustees of Obagi Oil Fields Host Communities Development Trust, Dike Hobson Dike, is inviting stakeholders and indigents of the oil mining lease OML 58 communities of Egi and Iduama cluster in Ogba Egbe-Mandoni local government area of River State to a town hall meeting tomorrow, Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. In a statement on behalf of members of the board, the management and advisory committees of the trust, the chairman said the town hall meeting would be held at Obite Civic Center in Onelga at 10 a.m. The theme of the town hall meeting is Account of Stewardship, Challenges and Opportunities for Host Communities under the PIA. Chief Hobson Dike urged all stakeholders of Egi and Iduama clusters to attend the meeting and share their thoughts to ensure that the interests of the respective communities are represented in the activities of Obagi HCDT. On the international scene, Hamas has slammed a statement by the US which claimed the Palestinian group uses ambulances and more human shields for terrorism. It said the remarks by a spokesperson for the U.S. National Security Council, Brian Hughes, that Hamas is using ambulances are pure lies without any evidence propagated by the U.S. administration alongside the Israeli government to justify its documented crime against paramedics and rescue workers. And the news this evening, you heard Rivers police have denied firing tear gas and live rounds at Take It Back protesters. A protester has urged global sanctions against Nigeria over rights violations. Acquitted detainees have alleged pressure to implicate former Chief of Staff, Ehie, in assembly fire case. The presidency says Mahmoud Yakubu remains INEC chairman. And on the foreign scene, Hamas has slammed U.S. claims it uses ambulances for terrorism. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Sam Chinedu. Thanks for listening.